Isn't it quite a strange time at the moment? Despite all the noise that the media is trying to create with relation to the economy and to the Ukraine-Russia situation, people seem to be in this a different kind of sleep. It's almost like, whilst they reflect on the lie that they've been subjected to, almost that they've got to go asleep, go into a dreamlike state in order to be able to process it. I'm going to try and tell you what I mean now. First of all, I hope you can hear me okay. This wind, this really strong breeze just won't abate, but I know that you prefer me doing these videos when I'm walking outside in the countryside, so here I am. I hope you can hear me okay. It's another gorgeous day, absolutely just invigorating, beautiful day, gorgeous. So what am I talking about? So what I want to say about what's happened in the last 2.5 years in terms of the insanity of the lie and the evil of the lie and the very, very high number of lies embedded within the overarching lie. It'll get taken down on YouTube if I say exactly what it is I want to say. So I've written something just to summarise the events of the last 2 to 2.5 years, to try to highlight the absurdity of it and the scale of it and the monstrosity of it. So click on the link in the description and subscribe to my Telegram channel, where I will upload this video and you'll be able to see what it is that I'm talking about. But in more general terms, oh, and also I am going to try over the weekend to sell my Odyssey account. So I'll do this video and I'll just, I'll go for it and I can put it on Odyssey, and then going forward all the videos will be replicated across the two platforms. Odyssey's a bit of an echo chamber, unfortunately, but there is such a thing as free speech on there, which is great. YouTube, obviously we know the issues with the censorship, but the advantage is that you can reach and I'd say you can influence more people potentially on YouTube, people who are, at least can see two sides of the story kind of thing. But going back, so click on the Telegram link and you can read what it is that I've already typed up. And when I read it back, even I'm like, oh, bloody hell, it's just unbelievable. But going back to the general point that I'm making, I talk about people almost like in this, they're not in a trance, but almost, I don't know, I can't describe it, in some kind of some kind of unconsciousness almost. I don't believe that very many people are distracted by what they're trying to do with this Russia-Ukraine story. I think at the very start people were, and I genuinely feel now that most people have cottoned on to, the media are distorting the truth, whatever the truth is, nobody knows, and they're sick of the incessant negativity. I think people are starting to become more concerned about the economy, and so they should. As many of us have warned, we're now witnessing the financial implosion in the West, and come next winter, many of those who are still asleep will wake up, because when they're not able to put food on the table and heat their homes, they're then going to start finally to ask questions. And I'm talking here about the comfortably off middle class who've had loads of free money thrown at them in the last couple of years and who haven't been interested in the concerns of those who've suffered. So I'm talking about those people. So the positive to that next winter is it'll wake more people up. But right now, so where are we right now? What's this sleep I'm talking about that people are in? Well, maybe, just maybe, people are now just starting in some way to look back in the last 2 years. Not many people, but some, to try to understand it and to process it. But many are just going through this period now where, and I think it probably does need to happen for a lot of people, where they're processing the trauma, and how that's manifesting itself is in, it's not like it's a taboo subject, all the COVID lockdowns and the jabs and all that. As you know, as time goes on, people realise that, you know, people like me and probably you have been vindicated, that it's almost, they need to have that time to try to figure out how to talk about it, how to reflect, and how to have that reckoning with themselves. And what I'm trying to figure out is, you know, how many people are in that category? How many are still brainwashed? Quite few now, relating to the COVID thing, quite few. I don't know, less than 5%. Some still are, and these are the people who will. It literally doesn't matter what they are told; they will never wake up, and they're doomed. So not many. Now, of the rest of the 95%, you've got a huge number of people who have woken up to the lies and who have been affected, who've been trying to influence and who've been trying to provide resistance, all the rest of it. Now, of that group, there's a lot of exhaustion, because I feel it myself. It's been emotionally and psychologically draining, you know, particularly for me with what happened to my dad. All the others who've extricated themselves from the brainwashing, great. They now have a responsibility, though, to, and if it takes a little bit of time, that's okay, to start talking and to start reflecting. And what it is, where the issue lies, is that what they believed in, some for up to 2 years, the ones who've woken up quite late to it, what they allowed to happen, what behaviours they engaged in, what malignant lies they believed. Well, it didn't only shape their beliefs, but it shaped their behaviours. So these behaviours that have been demonstrated by these, as a result of this groupthink, you know, people have had so much social proof that what they've been asked to do was the right thing because everybody else was doing it. Well, of course, it didn't make it right, did it? But it gave them social proof. But what they were asked to do was evil to the extreme. So it's almost as if people are now, on some level, they're aware they were lied to. Most people now know they've not been told the full truth, at the very least. And a significant number of people figured it all out. But of that number of people, what we need and what the world needs is people to start openly discussing it now. Because if a reckoning and a deep societal reflection is not undertaken in the next few months, and it does need to happen in the next few months, then the danger is it'll slip away and people will have learned nothing. There needs to be some real introspective soul searching, and I mean soul searching. Take the whole logic argument out of it and reason, you know, just some soul searching. You know, we can logically and you know, rationally explain the lies relating to narratives, policies, statistics, organisations and what they really do and who they really serve, all that kind of thing. We can do that. And you know, once people release themselves from the brainwashing as they are, they can do that. But it needs a moral reckoning. It needs a, and it doesn't even need to be from a guilty perspective, because if people have, and I know loads of people, because don't forget, 99.99% of people, I think, in this country, right at the start, were all believing the shit, and at various stages, people have woken up. And I always say, the later the people do wake up to it and admit, the more respect I have for them, because that must be so hard to do. But it's not just a case of going, oh yeah, it's terrible, they've told us lies, and yeah, kind of like, you know, we were all hard. It's not that kind of situation. What's needed is, well, yeah, but what does it say about us? And right now, and to get to the main point, there are people who, there's two things that need to happen in the name of justice. Number one, the perpetrators, the orchestrators, and yes, the perpetrators. The orchestrators are very, very, very few in number, as you know. The perpetrators are very high in number, ordinary men and women, you'll know them, of this crime, need to be held accountable. And the victims need to be remembered, and justice needs to be served, because their lives are worth more than people just forgetting all about them. Okay?
Cheers now.
No worries. Cheers. Than people just forgetting about them and letting all of this melt away into history without them being given the respect that their lives and deaths deserve. So what we need for that to happen is pressure to be applied via the public, till it gets to such a point whereby it becomes intolerable. And the truth, which is all there, you know, as I've said for a long time, the lies are there, the truth's there. We just need to encourage people to look at it, acknowledge it and speak about it. That's literally all that needs to happen, because when that does happen, that pressure will become intolerable, and eventually the justice, the two types of justice that I've talked about, then will be able to be served. But it needs honest conversation, honest introspection, honest reflection in order to be able to do that. So I'm hoping that now that people are just kind of like, are maybe doing that in some way, and then as more and more people do start to have these honest conversations, and that social proof starts showing itself more and more, that will lead to more and more people saying, well, actually, yeah, I've seen this has happened to me, this happened to a member of my family, this, you know. And it's admitting our own individual responsibility, admitting their own individual responsibility, admitting that they were fooled. And it's fine to be fooled. It's not great, obviously, but it's fine. We've all been fooled. We were all fooled at some point, and we've all been fooled at various points in our lives. But not just a flippant kind of, oh yeah, it's been bad the last 2 years, but let's forget about it and move on. Not that. It needs to be some real deep reflection, because it's going to happen again, isn't it? You know, they're going to try on something very similar in the next 5 to 10 years. So people have really got to understand what's just happened and the scale of it. So I'm going to end the video there. Click on that link in the description to my Telegram channel. Join the channel and you'll see what it is in terms of the specifics that I've not talked about in this video. Also, Telegram channel as well is a great place for some really, really deep, interesting, profound conversation goes on in there. It's great, you know, a little bit of disagreement, but respectfully, and just some very, very creative thinking and expression of opinion, which is, as I've passionately argued for a long time, is what we need. I've got a bit of catching up to do and replying to comments in the Telegram channel, so forgive me for that. I will always answer comments, even if I'm days or weeks behind. I'll always answer. YouTube, I think I'm up to date with the comments on YouTube. So yeah, join the Telegram channel, read what it is I've said about what I've talked about in this video, and I'll update you when I've got my long overdue Odyssey account open, and I'll be able to not only duplicate content, but I'll be able to speak a little bit more freely on there. So there we go, that's where we're at. Take it easy everyone, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.